What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. And today, just like the title and thumbnail say, it's gonna be all about how to actually achieve your New Year's resolution. And the biggest thing here, I have 10 tips in total. I kind of spent some time the other day kind of just writing down my personal goals, but then I was like, okay, how do I actually achieve these, right? How do I want to break this down kind of step by step and make sure that these are be something realistic that I can do and actually achieve them? So the first two kind of go hand in hand, but step number one is to set specific and realistic goals. And since my channel is all about health and fitness, we're gonna be more so focused on someone who wants to achieve a body transformation. So if you are someone who wants to lose weight, build muscle, whatever it is, that is gonna be our goal. But we need to be specific and realistic. So someone who, let's say, wants to lose weight, it's probably unrealistic to say, I wanna lose 100 pounds by summertime, right? That's a very, very quick transition and a little bit unrealistic. But I do like a specific number, right? So if you want to say, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to get to 10% body fat, that is a good goal rather than just lose weight, right? Everyone wants to lose weight. Well, most people want to lose weight. We need specific, not weight loss, fat loss. How much fat? What is their end goal? End body weight, end body fat percentage, right? So, and sometimes that'll change as it goes, but number one is set a realistic and a clear goal. And number two, which goes very, very well with this, is a goal is great, but everyone has the goal of, let's say, weight loss, right? Or a lot of people have the goal of weight loss in the new year, but only a small percentage achieve that. Why is that? Because a plan is key. If you have a goal, if you don't have a plan, then the goal doesn't matter because everyone has the same goal. But if you have a plan, that is key. So you need to make sure that you have a plan, a realistic plan as well. If you think, okay, I'm gonna start going to the gym 7 days a week, do an hour cardio every day, like that's unrealistic, right? Like we need to make sure that we have a plan to achieve our goals. So let's say we want to lose 30 to 40 pounds, let's say 35 pounds, a nice little round number. We want to lose 35 pounds by June. Okay, very doable, that's realistic, maybe about 5 to 10 pounds per month, which for most is achievable, maybe a little bit faster at the start. And then what is the plan to do that? Okay, I'm gonna meal prep on Sundays. I'm going to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna do cardio on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm gonna take the weekend off. Whatever that looks like for you, we need to come up with a plan to achieve said goal. If you just have the goal of weight loss, oh, my New Year's resolution is weight loss, you're not gonna achieve it. You need a specific goal, you need a realistic goal, and you also need a plan to achieve that. But I'm gonna go over a few more other tips here in a second, but I got some work to knock out and some clients to check in on, so I'll keep you guys posted on 3 through 10 tips here in a second. Tip number 3 is to start small. And I know as much as you might wanna dive into the deep end or go 0 to 100 because you know the results are gonna be the most optimal at 100, it is a recipe for burnout and is a recipe for giving up, right? So once again with fat loss, let's say we wanna lose 35 pounds by the summer. Okay, we wanna start going to the gym, we wanna start meal prepping, but if you go from 0 time in the gym, no cardio, no meal prep, to trying to prep every single meal of your entire week, going to the gym every day, doing cardio every day, you will not be able to keep that up. We need to make sure that it's something small, realistic, that's gonna get us moving in the right direction. And then sure, every week or every 2 weeks, you can increase that. So let's say we're gonna start with just going to the gym 3 times a week. Boom, we do that for 2-3 weeks. Okay, let's go ahead and bump that up to 4 days a week. And then we go from, let's say, meal prepping, let's say breakfast all week, to then breakfast and lunch. Or we go from meal prepping, breakfast and lunch, to also planning out meals on the weekend. There's ways to kind of slowly increase it, but going 0 to 100 is just gonna be a recipe for burnout and typically a recipe for quitting too soon before we actually can see the results, thinking, I get it, like we're really, like as a human being, we think, okay, the more I can do, the more results I'll get. But we also be realistic and say, the more I can do, the more I'm gonna be overwhelmed, burnt out, and probably too tired of the process before I actually can get the results I want, because they do take time. So step number 3, or I guess tip number 3, is to start small and then build up. Tip number 4 is going to be track your progress. And this is absolutely critical because if you aren't tracking something, you can't really know if you're making strides towards that goal, right? And I always say, what gets measured, or I don't always say, it's a saying that I say, what gets measured gets managed, right? And this is beyond just fat loss. This is anything, right? If you're, I used to work as an engineer, KPIs were critical, right? Key performance indicators. Are things going the way they should? And if they're not, what's not going on or what's not happening, what's going wrong? And if they're outperforming, okay, what's something that's good that's going on that we can kind of continue to replicate or try to mimic in other areas of the business. So in this case with fat loss, we want to measure a few key things. And now there are 4 things that I have all my clients measure. So the first off is gonna be our scale weight, right? We're gonna step on the scale, see what it reads, and take that number. That is important for our overall fat loss goals, but it's not the only thing that matters. So that's number one, our scale weight. Number two, progress photos. So we can actually get visuals of what's going on with our body, right? Because even though the scale might not be changing a ton, we could be seeing some great visual changes. So first off is the scale, second off is our progress photos, third off is our calories. Especially in a fat loss goal, if our goal is to lose fat, we need to be accurate with how much we're actually putting into our body, right? Everything that goes in our mouth, that is a calorie that your body then either uses or stores as belly fat. So big thing we want to do there is make sure we're tracking our calories so we have a good accurate intake or a good accurate understanding of what our caloric intake is. And then fourth is a little bit different. It's not a specific number, but more so like kind of how you look and feel. So a couple questions I'll ask clients is, okay, how's your fatigue in the gym? Are you feeling worn down? What's your energy like outside the gym? Are you making progress? Or what's your sleep like? Little things like that, more of the qualitative stuff, right? Quantitative stuff is numbers, right? So what's the scale reading? What's your caloric intake? Even progress photos, those are kind of quantitative things. But what about qualitative? How do you feel? How's your energy levels? How's your sleep? Do you have any hunger or cravings? And kind of getting an understanding of, okay, not only the numbers, but also kind of like the whole picture of how you're doing. So if this is something you work with a coach with or on yourself, track your weight, take progress photos. I would say for most people, I would say weekly, maybe bi-weekly, depending on how much weight you have to lose, would be a good idea. Obviously making sure we're tracking the caloric intake so we have a good understanding of, okay, what do we need to change down the line? And of course, kind of checking with yourself how you're feeling. Are you making good progress? Do you feel motivated, energized, or are things not going so well? Are you getting poor sleep? And kind of track those things because what gets measured gets managed, so we make sure we're tracking things to see if we're going towards our goals. Tip number 5, especially when it comes to health and fitness goals, focus on consistency, not on perfection. And that is so important. I kind of stress that with every single person I come across, client, friend, family member. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And the level of consistency depends on the person, right? Like a top tier D1 or professional athlete, their level of consistency is gonna be a lot higher than a average desk worker who's trying to lose 30 to 40 pounds, right? But the level of consistency is the level that you need in order to achieve your goals or make strides towards that. And sure, consistency might change over time because you might say, okay, for now, my level of consistency is 3 days per week in the gym, tracking Monday through Friday, and being conscious of my calories on the weekend. That might be your consistency to start. And then you go to that next level, 4 days per week, more whole foods, hitting that protein goal, things like that. So it might change over time, but the thing is to focus on consistency, not perfection. If you try to be perfect, you're gonna be burnt out. I want you all in, but not all or nothing, right? All in is, okay, hey, I'm gonna do everything I can. If I mess up, no worries, I'm gonna get back on track the next day. All or nothing is, okay, hey, I'm doing really well, 12-day streak, day 13 happens, it's your friend's birthday, you go out for some beers, have some pizza, and you're like, oh, well, screwed myself, I'm gonna go ahead and just quit. It's about consistency, not perfection. And that is the most important thing because any health and fitness goal takes time. That is one thing. It cannot be a try to do this in 2 months, 3 months. We need to build a habit and a lifestyle around being healthy. And it takes time and consistency to receive those results we want. It's not about perfection. That's one thing with every single client I had this entire holiday season as we wrap up and enter 2025. Every single one made steps towards their goals, even though they weren't perfect, right? They had Christmas, they had Thanksgiving, they had travel, they had vacation, they had New Year's Eve. Every single one of them participated in some form or another with not being perfect, but they still made progress, right? It's about consistency, what you do most of the time, not what you do sometimes. Tip number 6 is to find workouts you enjoy. If you enjoy the process, you're gonna be a whole lot more likely to stick to it. But there are also some guidelines. Like if you don't like lifting weights, I'll be honest, you should still probably lift some weights in some capacity. You need to lift weights, you need some stimulus to maintain or build some muscle. But as far as what you wanna do outside of lifting weights at least 3 to 4 times a week, it's whatever you want. If you don't like running, don't run. Walk on the treadmill. I have this little walking pad right here. I hook it up, or I have a standing desk that lifts up, put the walking pad underneath, and I get a ton of steps in as either work or sometimes I just watch Netflix or watch YouTube on there. I'm not a huge fan of running, so I don't do it. But if you put a ball in my hand or at my feet, I'll play sports all day. So if I want to play racket sports, pickleball, paddle, golf even. I walked golf and I think I got I think it was 8,000 steps just walking 9 holes with my dad and my brother the other day. So make things enjoyable. There are some absolute basics that we should do. We should get our heart rate elevated for at least, I would say, about 130, 150 minutes a day, or not minutes per day, minutes per week. But what that looks like for you, that could be the elliptical, rowing machine, treadmill, stationary bike, What else is there? The step machine, whatever it is, the Stairmaster, not the step machine, the Stairmaster, little things like that, and make it enjoyable. If you want to go for a walk, listen to a podcast, read a book, call a friend, do an audiobook. If you are in the gym, once again, have a gym buddy, things like that. Make it enjoyable. The more enjoyable it is, the more likely you are to stick with it and see results over time. So tip number 6, make it enjoyable and do workouts you enjoy. Tip number 7, when it comes to specifically health and fitness goals, one of the best things you can do for the long term, not only for this New Year's resolution, but in general, is to prioritize whole foods. And this doesn't mean perfect either. It doesn't have to be 100% whole foods. The more whole foods, single ingredient, high protein foods you can eat, the better your body composition is going to be, right? We're pretty much, our body's a result of what we put in our mouths and what we do with our body. So I'm going to be making some breakfast right here. So one of the breakfasts that I personally absolutely love is going to be some eggs. So we got some eggs right here. These are pasture raised, but whatever you can afford, whole eggs are fantastic. So we're doing 4 eggs. We also have some berries. I'm a huge fan of fruit. I'll eat literally like 6 or 7 servings of fruit a day. So we're having a cup of blueberries, and then we got some raspberries as well. I did eat all the blackberries as well as the strawberries last night. I pretty much have at least a serving of fruit with every meal, sometimes 2. Also, we're gonna have some sourdough bread. Once again, this is not a single ingredient whole food, but it's the cleaner of the breads as far as what that goes. So I know there's bread that like a ton of sugar. We're gonna avoid the extremely highly processed foods. And I think 80-20 is a pretty good rule of thumb to have as far as like the percentage of whole foods, high protein, low calorie foods versus the fun foods, or let's say the less nutritional foods. Like even in my freezer, we still have, like Katie and I, both healthy individuals, we still have like Kit Kats and stuff like that in our freezer, but in moderation is the key. And we do prioritize protein. I've got some, let's see what else we got in here. My fridge is embarrassing. It's actually really, really bad how empty it is when you go grocery shopping soon. We got some dairy products here. We've got some salsa up top. We got some Greek yogurts. This is where all the berries are kept, so I just pulled those out. We have a little bit of tiramisu and cookies that my brother made for Christmas. We've got some leftover ham, potatoes in there. I've got some chicken thighs, some ground beef, apples. We got some veggies in the drawer. We got some condiments and things like that. So I sometimes tell people, like, show me your fridge and I'll show you the results you're gonna get. So prioritizing whole foods is a huge thing, especially with health and fitness goals in the new year. I'm about to head to the gym, but tip number 8 is to build accountability. And this can look very different for a lot of different people. For one, it could be finding a gym partner, right? Someone to go to the gym with that you meet there or you drive with, whether it be a significant other, a friend, family member. Like today, I'm about to head to the gym and work out with my little brother. He's here for the holiday season and, well, back from school for a little bit, for about a month. And I said, hey, you wanna work out? And he said, sure. So every day we kind of hold each other accountable. Like, hey, I'll see you there at 10. I'll see you there at 9. Whatever time we go or decide the next workout's gonna be, we just see each other there. We kind of have an unspoken rule, just like accountability in that situation. It could also be a significant other, right? If you're going through a health and fitness transformation with a significant other or a partner, a wife, husband, whatever it is, that is probably the one single greatest thing. They don't maybe need to be doing the same thing you are, but someone that's gonna be supportive of you or understanding. So telling a friend, telling a family member, even if they don't wanna be involved themselves or do their own thing, speaking it into existence almost, or telling people, hey, like this year, my goal is to lose 35 pounds by June. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I love your support, or I just wanna let you know. Little things like that go a long way because people around you, your friends and family, they love you, they want you to succeed, and they want you to do what you can to improve yourself. And obviously you want to be the best version of yourself for your family. Or it could be something like joining a community, right? Whether it be an online community in Reddit, even though Reddit's probably not the best place, join a community, a challenge, all those are kind of short-term fixes, or even hiring a coach, whether it be someone like myself, which I do offer coaching, or just joining a coach and having that accountability. I noticed the majority of the clients I work with are guys and girls that just don't maybe have someone in their life to kind of talk health and fitness about. Like a lot of their times it's like work friends, family members that aren't really just focused on health and fitness. So I'm kind of like a soundboard for their conversations, for calls. And it's like, why I love what I do, why I use that desk so much is to work with those that want the accountability. So build accountability, whether it's a gym partner, whether it's a group training session, you could do CrossFit classes, you could do group classes, whatever it is that's gonna get you involved. But put your money where your mouth is in the sense of, okay, if you're gonna say you're gonna do it, do it. So build some accountability. My final 2 pieces of advice or tips. Number 9 is gonna be adaptable or be willing to change. Remember, whatever you start out with whether it be calorie-wise, workout-wise. Be willing to adapt and change in case life changes, in case your goals change, in case what you're currently doing stops working after 3 months because, I mean, shoot, after 3 months of fat loss, you might have to adjust your calories or increase your steps, things like that. So number 9, make sure that you're open to adjustment. The first time around might not be a grand slam, might have to change some things, but the more you do, the more you can learn, and that's the most important thing for taking steps in the right direction. Oh, there's a little piece of fuzz in my sweater. And last but not least, number 10 is to remember your why. Why are you doing this? And there are lots of different ways to do this. I personally tell my clients, write it down. To physically put it on a piece of paper is very, very powerful in the sense that you not only speak it into existence, but now you've written it down and you keep it on your desk, you can keep it in the bathroom, you can put it on a Post-it note, you can put it all over the place. Whatever works best for you as a reminder of why are you doing this. Is it for your kids? So for your grandkids? So you can always say, for me, I always want to be able to say yes, or I never want to have to say no to something because I physically can't do something. And yes, along the way, I want to look good, I want to feel good. You have a vacation coming up, so you write that on there. Or my clients had like business meetings where they're actually going to like Las Vegas or something in the past couple of years. Business conferences that you want to go to. Write down your why and remember that. If you're struggling with motivation, if you're down the dumps, remember your why. And for me, you can steal mine if you want, is to never say no because I physically can't do something. If I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, I never want to say no because I can't go on the hike. I can't go play golf. I can't go play pickleball. I can't go play with my grandkids. That is my why. And along the way, sure, I want to get shredded, I want to look good, build muscle, get lean, but that is my ultimate why. And that's why I always remember whenever I struggle with motivation. But if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. I also do offer coaching if you need extra help. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.